Good evening, Alatmas. Today, under Bhagavad Gita, Jnana Yajna, we are going to see the chapter 3, communion through action. The next sloka is important. It is natural for each organ to feel attraction or aversion in respect of objects pertaining to each sense. Do not come under the sway, for they are enemies of all spiritual aspirants. So we have seen the five senses: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. So these are all organs in the physical body. The corresponding senses, eye, the corresponding sense is, it enables one to see. Ears, it enables one to hear. Nose, it enables one to smell. Tongue, it enables one to taste or speak. And skin, it enables one to feel. So these organs, it is natural for each organ to feel attraction or aversion in respect of objects pertaining to each sense. So when you see a youngster is there, so when he is going on the road, he sees a beautiful girl. So immediately, because he is young, he is having that attraction towards the opposite sex. So eyes immediately sees the girl, and he get attracted by the beauty of the girl. So the eye sense gets attracted by the object of the girl. So he is going, he is seeing ice cream, the taste of it attracts him for having this ice cream. So like that, each and every organs, the corresponding sense pertaining to that each organ, it gets attracted. It is natural for each organ to feel attraction or aversion in respect of objects pertaining to each sense. Suppose you have been given, suppose a poison is there. Will we take? No, because we will have aversion towards that, because that will kill us. So there are certain objects which attract, there are certain objects which creates aversion in us. What is bitter, it will give an feeling of aversion to have it. So do not come under this way, for the enemies of spiritual aspirants. So this attraction of the senses towards each organ. Seeing a girl, a lust is created. Lust leads to when the buddhi goes to the lust is the sensual conscious mind. When it goes to the ego conscious mind, you want to enjoy it. You get a desire to acquire that. So how that leads to perversion, the pernicious thought, which we are seeing in our society, how these young people they go to the extent of committing gang rapes and all. It's all because of the perversion due to lust. That is mainly because of the sense organ, which the sense organ sees and the senses get perverted. So these perversions, this desire, this avarice to get more money, to earn more money by hook or crook and become a big crorier, this is the feeling of becoming more greed, this feeling of greed, avarice. These are all against the spiritual growth. That's what it says. Do not come under this way. So one should not get succumb to it. We should not get succumb to the senses and their objects. If we get succumb, then naturally our desires will make us slave, and we will be going on doing works after works to satisfy the unending desires without peace of mind. So that's why they say, do not come under this way. Whatever objects are there, what is needed? Suppose you want to eat to the extent what is needed, that is to feel it and forget it, only to that extent. Even the lust also, as I told you, brahmacharya, grihasthashrama, vanaprastha and sannyasa, 4 stages of life is there. Once you get qualified as a brahmacharya, that is materialistically you become qualified education, with that education you get proper employment, then you are getting the opportunity for having the experience of lust in the grihasthashrama. In the systematic way. Our Vedas have fixed it. We are not animals where as and when it wants, it go and have the to satisfy itself. No, it is not the case. We have sixth sense, and our intention is use the sixth sense to attain to the next level of promotion, to reach God, where there is the path of moksha we have to go. And in this path, the satisfaction of lust is only to the extent of fulfilling our duty to bring another Atma into this world to release its karma. That's all. Only to that extent. We have no other object to gain more wives, more kids, more things. No. Our intention is, our object is to attain self-realization by fulfilling all our duties. And that too, this lust should be used only to the extent. Suppose you get married, for 1 or 2 years you have enjoyment of the lust. And subsequently when the kids comes, immediately both husband and wife will have a concentration on the bringing up the kids. So thereafter the lust goes down. So what is needed is, there to the limited extent what is needed for our survival, we have to use these senses. Beyond that, our intention, we should not become slave to that senses. Use it to the extent what is needed for living, and then focus only on the spiritual growth. These senses should be used. Whatever you see, if you see a woman, see as goddess Shakti there, instead of seeing as an object of lust satisfaction. Performing one's duties, even though not glamorous, leads to one's good, rather than doing duty aligned to one's growth. However well performed, will lead to fear of one's downfall. That is what it says. Performing one's own duty, even though not glamorous, leads to one's good. So, in this world, each person, God's creation, He has not created everybody as kings and everybody as coolies. Each and every person has been destined with a specific role by God according to the karmic factors. There is a Brahma, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra is based on the vritti, not based on the caste or creed. A Brahmin is to do the Vedic, tell the people about the values of God, and imbibe him the spiritual values for the people, all the people in the world to lead a peaceful life while fulfilling their duties. Kshatriya is to safeguard the country. He has to take care of the welfare of the country, to safeguard from the enemies. Vaishya is to do the business, one who engages in the business. And Sudra is the person who builds the houses, who builds the roads, who builds the infrastructures, and all these things he is involved. So based on the vritti, that is occupation, this has been decided. So all are not kings. So whatever be the person, a person who is doing a Sudra means a person who is doing construction work. He is just, once he has to focus on that work. Whatever, he should not think, that king Kshatriya is ruling the country, so we should become so. Also he thinks, because he knows only his duty, and that even though it is not glamorous, he is a maestri, he is a building construction. Who does building construction? His knowledge, his education is limited to that extent, and he does that work and gain experience. But because though it is not glamorous, it leads to one's good. So he does the duty, earn money, take care of his family, lead a peaceful life, contented peaceful life. But if he becomes succumb to the senses and he gets greed, he sees somebody who is earning more money by buying lottery tickets or something. So immediately goes, rather than doing duty aligned to one's growth, however well performed, will lead to fear of one's downfall. The man who is doing this building construction maestri, he earns money and he wants to become a crorier. One of his friends bought a lottery in some other state and he got 1 crore. Immediately he goes for buying this, spend money, go to the next state, buy lottery. You want to see that you want to make crores so that he can take care of his wife and children happily. So his intention is to fulfill his duty and he wants to become a crorier. And he works hard earn money, buy the lottery ticket. Unfortunately, he could get that and loses all the money. So that things have been happened. That's why this lottery was banned in most of the states. People have become so one who want to make money faster, they involve in gambling and they lose money. Even the horse race also has been banned in many states, mainly because people have become pauper in investing in this gambling like anything. So that will lead to the one's downfall. It is lust, its anger, prompting man to commit great sin. Know this to be the enemy spiritual growth, spiritual life. It is lust, it is anger, prompting man to commit great sin. Know this to be the enemy of man's spiritual life. In this, a small anecdote of Vasishtha Mahamuni is being told. Vasishtha Mahamuni was undergoing penance. He was doing penance by praying to Lord Brahma for 100 years to become Brahma Rishi. So for becoming Brahma Rishi, he has to do penance for 100 years. So he was deeply doing penance and he has completed 99 years of penance. At the fag end of the 100th year is coming. So at that time, Indra, who is the king of this Devas, he wanted to test, because his Brahma Rishi tapas was so vibrant, it has shaken the heaven. So Brahma, the Indra, what he want to test whether Vasishtha Mahamuni is eligible, fit enough to get that Brahma Rishi Pattam. So one Indra, what is Lord Indra? Indra means Indriyas. Indriyas means one who controls all the senses. He is only eligible to become a supreme being, a Brahma Rishi. So the test is whether this person has have perfect control of all the senses. What he does is, he was doing severe penance when Vasishtha was doing severe penance. He immediately calls Ramba, Urvashi, Menaka, all the three beautiful girls in this Sargam, and he asked to go and dance before him, cajole him and make him to and keep him happy and go and dance and make him really. So what Indra's intention is to check whether Vasishtha Mahamuni has overcome the sense of lust. So for that, the most powerful, beautiful ladies of Brahma, Ramba, Urvashi, Menaka, he sends them. They go and dance. He was doing penance, they go and dance before him. And when the dance was so vibrant and they come and touch him and cajole him, immediately he opened his eyes and see three beautiful girls, beautiful ladies dancing in front of him. And immediately he becomes, his eyes gets attracted by the beauty of the three, Ramba, Urvashi, Menaka. He felt very happy and he just entered into dance with them and enjoy their presence. After once he forgets about his penance and start enjoying the beauty of these girls, ladies, suddenly the three ladies vanishes. Oh, at that time he realized, oh, these are Ramba, Urvashi, Menaka sent by Indra to check my control of senses, lust. I have failed. So he felt very sad that he succumbed to the lust. That's what in the spiritual growth, lust is the most powerful enemy which one has to overcome in order to attain the spiritual emancipation. That's why even Sabarimala also, the first step is lust. One has to overcome the lust, then only they go for spiritual emancipation. Then what to do? He has all the 19 and a half years of his penance are gone wasted. All his powers are gone. Again he sits for another 100 years of penance. Brahma. Now again 99 years. This is a story. Because this is an example for the last. So 19 years over. Now Indra realizes that if I send again Ramba, Urvashi, Menaka, he has realized now he will not get attracted by it. So then what to do? Then he asks Varuna, Agni, Varuna Deva, Agni Deva, and Vayu Deva. You 3 people go. Earlier, Rambhavara Menaga, now he says Varuna Deva, Vayu Deva, and Agni Deva. You 3 people go to the forest where he is doing penance. 3 people show your power and see whether he is able to overcome, yes, have perfect control of senses. So he was doing deep penance at that time. Heavy rains comes, heavy wind blows, and afterwards the Agni catches fire, forest got fire, catches fires. So all the 3 people disturb his penance so heavily that he gets anger. He opens his eyes and knows very well that Varuna Deva, Vayu Deva, and Agni Deva, they are playing havoc on his penance, and he opens his eyes and shouts at them, and with a great anger. Immediately they come and present and say, sorry, we came here at the instruction of Indra, so in order to test your patience, and in that you have failed. So your anger has relieved all your patience of the 99 years patience has gone. Oh, I made a mistake. So like that, again he has to go for another 100 years of penance. So finally, after overcoming each and every sense attraction, finally he attains Brahmarishi Patam. So if one has to go attain spiritual emancipation, one has to overcome this lust and this anger. They are the most powerful enemies for the spiritual growth. For a spiritual aspirant, the knowledge is covered by the fire of lust, the eternal foe. The senses, the mind and buddhi, which are the seeds for lust, builds the knowledge and dilutes the embodied spirit. That's what we have seen. The senses is connected by the buddhi. Buddhi, if it is in the sensual or ego consciousness, it gets attracted by the external beauty attractions, external worldly pleasures. And in the external worldly pleasures, lust is very important, very powerful thing. Lust includes attraction towards woman, wine, all these things. What gives enjoyment? Bhoga, that is lust. So that's why many people are becoming addicted to the liquor. Liquor addiction makes mind to get perverted, and they get attracted by the lust of women. So they commit sin after sin, and their hard work in taking care of the duties of the family has been destroyed by their becoming slave to this lust. That's what it says. For a spiritual adherent, the knowledge is covered by the fire of lust. So you are doing, just as she told you, Vasishtha. Even here in this case, similar to Vasishtha, even Vishwamitra, who was Rajarishi, he also went in tapas when he went for tapas for Brahmarishi. At that time, Indra sends Ramba, because Vishwamitra came after Vasishtha. So that's why Vishwamitra had the experience what Vasishtha had. So and moreover, Vishwamitra is a Kshatriya, basically he is a Raja. So he renounced his Kshatriya and then he took to this Rajarishi. So he will not get attracted by the ladies dancing before him. That's why he sends, Indra sends, he was doing penance in the forest at that time. He sends a lion to catch one girl. The little girl runs fast and falls in before Vishwamitra's feet to help her, save her from the lion. Since he is a Kshatriya, he kills the lion and saves her. At that time he gets attracted, and she says, I didn't have anybody. He gets attracted by her and he falls in lust, and after that everything happened. So he falls in lust, and he marries her and gives birth to Shakuntala. And Shakuntala, he is being a Rajarishi, he is having more ego. So that's why Dushyanta, he loses the ring and he denies Shakuntala and he falls on his feet. Only on falling his feet, once he leaves the ego, then he is become entitled to become Brahmarishi. That's why after Vasishtha says, because of your ego, you have been denied that. So this ego, this lust, is the most powerful against the spiritual aspirant. the eternal. The senses, mind and buddhi, which are the seeds of lust, wields the knowledge and eludes the embodied spirits. So that even such great souls like Samitra, Vasishtha, they got attracted by lust. So one should be careful in keeping the mind, buddhi and senses under control so that they can overcome this lust. Therefore, by controlling the senses at the beginning itself, slay the foul enemy, the destroyer of knowledge and realization. So, by controlling the senses, that's why we need to keep our senses under control always. These five senses can be brought under control only if the buddhi, as I told you, the inner level of the buddhi should be directed towards the Paramatma. By going to deep samadhi stage, you have to take the total surrender to him, so that he gave direction to the buddhi to be always in the divine conscious level, so that he controls the senses. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna, who is the charioteer, he controls the five horses, that is the five senses, with the wheels, that is buddhi, in his hand. When Arjuna surrenders totally to him, Arjuna is the Jivatma, Krishna is the Paramatma, he keeps the buddhi and the divine conscious love. He is a divine person, divine conscious love. So that the senses are under control, they take the path of success. So that's why always you have to keep the senses under control by total surrender to him. And this is the thing what the Karma Yogi has to follow. It has been explained in this sloka. We will see the next sloka next session. Thank you.